Just sit down and draw it. But Brookes, you might say. To which I say, I'm not accepting questions at this time. But for real, Brookes, you reply in this fun, hypothetical dialogue. To which I say, sure, but not really. What is happening in this introduction? A little caveat that might help you backspace that angry comment you already started. I'm not going to stand here and make the argument that drawing isn't hard, or that it isn't especially hard right now. This video is about all the ways that we tend to make drawing harder. This video is a little bit about the inhibitions that tend to build up in us like a grease trap and make it harder to get started as a result. It's also about how powerful it can be to try and clean that grease trap out. Yes, there are plenty of reasons to pre-plan, gather reference, warm up, legitimate reasons to hold off on starting your artwork. But there are a myriad more reasons that we convince ourselves to procrastinate, and some that may not even look like procrastinating. I'll throw some time-lapse on screen, none of it particularly notable. The only real running thread between them is that they were all done for fun, not at all to be productive. One was a test of the new brushes in Max Ulichny's Retro Max Pack. One was exploring the cast of Baby Boy Tommy, the copyrights surrounding parody characters for whatever reason. And the last was simply just a prompt to include bikes in an illustration. Here's one that comes up a lot, either the better you get or maybe a lot around this time period. If you have work as an artist, you're a professional, there's a workload or series that you're following, something you've committed to. A lot of times there's art that we need to make. We need to make progress in a particular series, like a certain Tober challenge we've committed to, or that we're already a few days behind in. This tends to make it so every time we're free to draw, we feel the obligation to work on the thing that we need to. Sometimes that's true, but often there's three things happening as a result. First, we've made the thing we like doing into so much of an obligation that we might not enjoy it as much. Second thing is that we don't give ourselves enough time to get warmed up or loosened up because we need to 100% commit to working on final work. And the third and most important thing is that it forces us to not spend any time noodling, exploring, doing studies, and having fun with our drawing. This is the kind of thing that you can do for a little while, but it is a fast way to fill up the grease trap. It becomes such a painful and laborious thing to even get started working. We need to have a creative junk drawer, time out of the metaphorical spotlight. If you need to, schedule a period of 45 minutes or an hour with either no plan for what you're actually going to draw, or something so completely outside of your normal work that it's okay that you aren't doing it the right way or being productive. Another set of inhibitions that come up a lot is worrying that you aren't doing enough things at once to learn. A lot of times it's like, what illustration could I make right now that would practice my anatomy, my lighting, my fur texturing, my perspective, all equally at the same time? And two things that happen here is that first, you've set up something so daunting it continues to cause you to procrastinate, and second, you can't really genuinely push and improve on all of those aspects all at the same time. The difficult thing that we all experience is that learning and improving is such a long road, sometimes it would be nice to try and double up, or take a shortcut to make that faster. But try to divvy out the goals that you've been trying to accomplish so that you're only aiming for one or two at a time. If that means splitting your lighting study and your anatomy study into two different things, great. If that means splitting a thing that you're trying to improve in and something fun that you want to do into, great. Anything that makes it so that your work is in more manageable chunks like that will help you to see your progress incrementally, and you'll also let your brain focus on one thing at a time. Of course, another thing that is important to remember is that we're not in any kind of rush. We do not have to catch up to our favorite artists on social media immediately, and we don't need to match someone else's output arbitrarily. That's the kind of comparison and contrast that leads to discouragement and burnout. And right now we are in the middle of a situation that is heavily affecting a lot of creative people's ability to output. So don't compare yourself to someone else, and don't even compare yourself to your own output last year. There's a new backpack with new art for October. You can get that in Biko's backpack over on Patreon. And I just have to say, I get a lot of questions about, well, how do I learn this specific thing in art? Folks that are frustrated with not progressing. I need help with fundamentals, things like that. Well, the Learn Character Design course is 18 hours of learning from the ground up on how to draw, design characters, and make people care about them. That's at learncharacterdesign.com. Hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you for watching, and have fun creating.